If you've been watching the stream a lot today, you'll notice that I'll probably be staying a bit more quiet for the rest of the tournament. That's because it is currently 1 in the morning for me, and I don't want to keep my neighbors awake. It looks like they are also ready to get into the game, so let's do this. It's G2 against 72PC. I've just realized we do have game sound. Let me go ahead and enable game sound, because this is going to be pretty weird without it. There we go. Job done. But 72PC have technically upset their way in here. But that is, you know, not that surprising for teams or people who have been following them recently. They've, you know, clearly peaked in 3v3 form, making it into Spring Series just a bit recently. And of course they've got 1v1 as well. Game sound very loud. Is it? Okay. I can turn it down if you guys want. Do you want me to turn down the game sound? I'll turn it down a little bit. Oh yeah, it is really loud. How is it that loud? I don't understand how the game sound is that loud actually, because for me it's really quiet. I'm going to turn it a little bit down. Just like, how's this? Type 1 in chat if this is okay. Or type... I mean, it is super loud. I can see on OBS it's really loud. I turned it down like 5 decibels there. No, I turned it down to 3 decibels. Okay. Looks like you guys are happy with that volume, so we're going to leave it at that. I turned it down 3 decibels. It's not a huge amount, don't worry. We're just going to leave it at that. I would rather have things a little bit quieter than a little bit too loud, just because it is really late for me and I don't want to accidentally get super loud. Because if things get exciting, if things get hype, I'm probably going to make a lot of noise anyway. A lot more noise than I should make at this time of night. But it's all good. It's in the name of exciting Rocket League content, so let's keep it up. LionBlaze going to be looking to do a lot of work for his team in the 1v1 round of this match, just like he has previously. But, oh, they're going to need, you know, I think more than just the 1v1 here of LionBlaze if they're going to beat G2, because of course, Mile is going to be playing G2's ones matches, and he is also playing pretty well today. I will say one thing, is that LionBlaze, in his last 2 rounds that he's played, has just been stomping people in 1v1. He's destroyed Buddy, and then he's annihilated Dapper by ridiculous score lines. Mile, meanwhile, he had to, you know, actually grind through a really tough win against Drees in their last round. So, you know, if I look at those 2 results, on one hand, you've got LionBlaze probably feeling really confident right now because he just smashed 2 very capable players. Whereas Mile had a much more competitive match, which is more like what we're probably going to see from Mile versus LionBlaze. So I think that, you know, you've got 2 very different sides to that. But before we can even get that far, we have to get a 3s and a 2s out the way. And from what I see so far in the 3v3 round here, G2 are, you know, pressuring. We're used to seeing them do this. And they're playing quite a gentleman's game. That's really deceptive, though, by Rizzo. Nice pass into JNaps. And yeah, just totally caught Jacob out of position here. Jacob not ready for the interception. Open net for JNaps. Great pass by Rizzo, making it possible. You know, before that, I haven't seen too much in the way of physical play from G2, at least not as much as I'm used to. Maybe it's because they are, in fact, playing against Demo, and they don't want to demo. That would just be far too confusing. Does anybody know who's streaming Cloud9? If I'm not mistaken, CJ is going to be going live with the Cloud9 matches in just under 1 hour from now. Well, I imagine he'll go live a bit before the hour. But the Cloud9 match, or the first Cloud9 match starts in just under 1 hour from now. And I believe CJ is going to be streaming it. That is if he is in fact awake, because although it's just, you know, gone 1 AM for me, in Australia, Kangaroo Land, it is already the early hours of the morning. I think it's like 8 in the morning for them, or 9 or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think we can add CJ into the squad stream because he is in fact a Twitch partner. We're going to have to get Lawler to do that. I'm sure you guys can. Or is it, no, Leaf's in charge of it. So yeah, I'm sure that we can send 1 or 2, maybe 3 of you guys to Leaf and tell him to invite CJ to the squad stream. When CJ goes live, CJ's not even live yet. Oh, that's a nice shot actually. Nice shot by JNaps. And, you know, G2's 3v3 today, it hasn't looked spectacular, but in this format, that's not even a bad thing. They just want to play solid right now. They don't have a series of 3v3 games, you know, to pop off and build momentum and start to break down another team, you've got one game and you need to win that one game. This is a very unforgiving format. And G2's style that I'm seeing makes a lot of sense in this format. They're playing safer. They're not being as aggressive as we're used to seeing from them, but they're still being aggressive enough to, you know, deny the opposition any kind of real threatening opportunities. I think G2 are probably better than any other team in the world at attacking the ball at the halfway line. Sorry, they just don't let other teams through here. And whenever they do get through, they've had to use so much just to get this far. There's nothing left to actually shoot with. G2 still posing lots of threats, even at the very end of the game here. That's a routine victory for them against a team who are definitely to be respected in 3v3 right now. Demo, LionBlaze, and Jacob have been... Yeah, they've hit a pretty good run of form in 3v3 recently, but definitely nowhere near the level that we expect to see out of G2. The level that we are seeing from G2 today, they're just extremely consistent, and it's impressive to me that they can do this, because I don't think consistency has really been a thing that people have associated with G2's 3v3 games. Most of the time I would expect people to call it more like volatile and chaotic and relying on pop-offs, pretty consistent pop-offs albeit. But yeah, this is a really good look for G2 in this tournament, just playing a very solid threes match, very few holes in their game, very difficult to beat them. NRG lost, wow, really? Who did NRG lost to? Oh, they lost 3v3, okay. I thought you guys meant they'd lost the series. I was like, wow, that's impressive. They lost the series in 5 minutes. But I guess you guys just mean the one game they've lost. Who did they lose to again? I've forgotten who NRG are playing. Because all I'm thinking about right now is G2 against 72 PC. They lost to Stromboli in 3v3. Hey, it happens, man. It happens. Stromboli are a pretty nasty threes team. And it's interesting to see them play with Alpha Kep on the roster as well. Nice pass by Mile, who again is proven to be more than just a ones player for G2. This guy is looking great with Chicago. Credit to them. They've really put this together, and they're filling out this G2 roster to not just the best threes team in North America with one of the best ones players in North America, but they look like a really good twos team as well. Mile almost hit them with the flip reset there. Chicago waits back to do the defense while Mile recovers. Yeah, I'm impressed so far with what I'm seeing from G2 and from Mile in particular. I've got to give credit, you know, where it's due. I think G2 they're using Mile in a great way here. I think giving him more game time is a good thing, because one of the things that a lot of these ones players do lack is that competitive experience. You wonder, would they be able to play their best under all this pressure? Well, giving him a warm-up game in twos makes a lot of sense to me, because instead of coming in cold after 10 minutes of watching your team play on a stream, or even not being able to watch because the match isn't streamed, because the teammates of these players who are playing are not in the lobby. That is not allowed in this format. You need to have everybody who's not playing outside the lobby either watching on stream or not watching at all. You know, giving your ones player a warm-up game here, so smart. Oh, LionBlaze with a placement after that reset. And it was kept out by G2. Mile flicks it up towards Chicago. That's not a great clear. Chicago testing the crossbar. It is still there. I'm going to test it again from the other side. Jacob doesn't want to let him have two cracks at it. No reason not to put in Mile. He gets a warm-up. He gets comfortable with the team. He gets experience playing other game modes with high-level players. Yeah, I really like it. I really like the decision. Jazzo, I think it's very, very smart. I can't think of many other teams who have had an opportunity to do this. You know, most of the really dominant ones players that we saw in EU just happened to be players who were playing every single matchup. You're looking at players like Dement for Nameless. He played every single round for his team, which also, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense. Keeping your ones player as warm as possible, because 1v1 is such a pivotal match in this series. Really tilting match to lose. It's a really important match to win, because very often it's the decider to see who's going to have control over the pick of that game 5 should it happen. Yeah, most of the ones players in EU who were dominating played every single round. G2 have got a different idea here, and I think it really makes sense for their roster, because you're not going to break up your threes team, of course. But maybe other threes teams might want to take a look at what they're doing and copy. Nice goal here by 72PC, though. Looks like Mile and Chicago are not on the same page for that one. They're totally out of the game, flying at the same ball. That's the breakdown in communication. And another passing goal, this time at the other end of the field. Beautiful kickoff by 72PC. Chicago is never going to miss those well reads, so no problem for him, of course. Decided to make a play for this one. Now, if he does communicate that, that's definitely fine. It absolutely has to be communicated as early as possible. Oh, Jacob with a huge play. Look at this. Off the wall, pre-flips into position for the last touch, but he's not done. Flies into Chicago as well. That is pretty disgusting, and Miles going to be really upset with his positioning on that play, because Jacob just went straight over him and he didn't have any interference in that play whatsoever. 72PC making a series out of this. You know, if they lose the 2v2, I really don't think there's a chance that they can win. Well, there's obviously a chance, but definitely not a very big one, because G2 could just pick that 3v3 for game 5, and they're going to be heavy favorites in there. Whereas, you know, 72PC can win this, and maybe LionBlaze can go 50-50 with Mile in the 1v1. You know, you're looking at a very winnable series, at least much more of a winnable series. LionBlaze gets a bit ahead of that one. Still time left for G2 to come back in game number 2 here. Chicago past 1. LionBlaze sends it way back, and that's actually going to force Mile to jump, but Mile's done well with the control. Chicago ends up giving it away, though, and this is valuable time wasting for 72PC. This is what they want. Oh, wow, are we really going to go into the LionBlaze versus Mile round all even? It certainly looks that way. Jacob could have made it 3-1 off the post. This is tricky for G2. Left themselves in a pretty rough position here, and it was definitely preventable. Both goals looked like G2 misplays. Jacob thinking about his options here. Not really able to make up his mind before Mile arrived on the scene. Is Chicago contested here? He is, and that's huge. LionBlaze blocks Mile's angles. Still another chance for G2 in the final 10 seconds. Chicago can't get the second touch that he needed. And Miles in a rough position here. He's done a fantastic job, actually. And hold on, Chicago with the demo. G2 have equalized with 1 second left. What a play by Mile. He's popped it so much farther than LionBlaze expected. And Chicago saw the half flip. He's demoed LionBlaze before he could land. There was absolutely no way to avoid that one. Oh, wow. That is a huge turning point. G2 were about to lose their lead in the series, but they've got a chance to double up on it now. What a comeback there by Mile in Chicago, and it might not be over just yet. Their streak of form is continuing. Jacob trying to keep this ball in the corner. Doesn't want to give it to Chicago. He's waiting for it to cross over to him. It's nice control again by Jacob. Keeping the ball near him so he can at least force a 50-50. Chicago takes off a bit sideways on the air dribble. Not enough height on that one. Mile fakes the wall shot. He's going to try and score an air dribble of his own. Dunks it high for Chicago to follow. But that's just bait, really, in 2v2 a lot of the time. Chicago's got to be careful making that kind of attack. Miles' shot not accurate enough. And Jacob's in a rough position here. Chicago dunks it middle. I wouldn't have been surprised to see Chicago just go for another demo there. He wanted to play the ball, it would seem. Mile making sure LionBlaze still awake with the goalkeeping. And some solid defense though from 72PC. And that's a great chance to win. And they do. LionBlaze just punishing a Mile misplay. Mile wanted to pop that ball safely into the corner. That is far from safe, my friend. And now we enter the ones round. All even. What a series we might have for ourselves here. G2 and 72PC looking to be quite close in 2v2, I would say. 3v3 still looked heavily favored for G2. But this is where it gets incredibly interesting and also incredibly important, because if Mile doesn't win here, suddenly 72 PC, I would say, are favorites to win the series. They can definitely steal a threes game. It's possible. And they get their pick of the next match. If LionBlaze pops off here, they might just run back the 1v1 later. Let's find out. LionBlaze on an absolute tear in 1v1 today. And he's going to be starting off well here. Mile didn't realize how far the ball was rolling into the middle. LionBlaze just walks it in for a meter of a shot or something like that. But okay, the other thing to consider with this game is that these two have actually played a relatively recent match. In fact, it was one of the first matches that Mile played on my channel. This camera shake is Mile, by the way. He's got super low dead zone. I don't know how he plays with this, but he does. He's got a loose joystick and a low dead zone. Oh, that's a great save. Good reaction by Mile after he realized that was missing. That's insane. Ball bounced down off the bar. Mile had already pre-jumped, but he just dodges in the middle of it all. Perfectly intercepts the play and scores on the counter-attack. What is Mile's camera? Yeah, I think because of this, like, what do you call it? Shake on Mile's camera. I'm probably going to be watching most of the series from LionBlaze POV. If you guys don't mind. Because I can't look at Mile's camera. I can't do it. He doesn't have camera shake on, no. If he had camera shake on in his settings, and I didn't as a spectator, you wouldn't see camera shake, even if he had it on. What it is because his dead zone is so low and his joystick is a bit wonky, it's a little bit off-center, it just constantly changes which way his camera is looking, ever so slightly. But he's not the first player to get really good at ones doing this. I mean, Devo used to play like this back in the day. He had a shaky camera exactly like this when he was top tier 1v1. Mile playing the counter-attacking style so far, and this is a good look for LionBlaze, I would say, because the more he can attack, the more he can control the ball in this matchup, and the more chance he's going to have in it. The second that he gives Mile like a minute of gameplay on the ball uncontested, which does tend to happen against people who play Mile, yeah, that's going to be the downfall. But at the moment, LionBlaze is looking very good. Mile struggling to find a way through him. Both these guys are monsters in defense, incredibly mechanically gifted, and it's hard to pick a favorite between these two in ones these days. I'd say that they're both absolutely top 5 NA when it comes to ones recently. The only players who I would expect to be favorites over them would be First Killer and AJ, pretty much. Well, that's a good shot. Mile had to wait and see if it was on target. It was. LionBlaze is ahead by 2 goals. Notice here, Mile waited to see if it was going to hit the bar, because obviously if that ball hits the bar, he could just control it. No big deal. But he realized last second that he's not hitting the bar. That's actually going in, and he did a decent job to even keep it out at all. But better still would be reading the fact that it's going in, getting the ball to safety instead of leaving it in front of his goal like that. And Ocalid, well, I just meant for North America. I wasn't talking about Europe versus North America, because that's not obviously happening in this tournament. You know, when you're looking at North America, there are very few players, maybe only Chronic as well. You could say, you know, with Mile and LionBlaze, I think Chronic, AJ, and First Killer are your 3 players who I would put in the same level as them right now. But there's definitely other ones players who can compete and rely a bit more on momentum and popping off to do so, but it's possible. Nice little kickoff there by LionBlaze. Notice the delayed approach totally catches Mile off guard. And this is really good news for 72 PC. Nobody thought that G2 would be in this position. I mean, G2 looked good enough in the 3v3 that I would expect them to pick that match up in Game 4. If they lose here, expect to see 3v3 coming out. But after that, I mean, what do 72 PC respond with? They could pick 1v1, they could pick 2v2. It looks like they've got the edge in both those matchups for now. This is one of the best I've ever seen, or, you know, best days I've seen for LionBlaze in ones. He's more known as a defensive, like, counter-punching player, but it looks like those two warm-up games that he had, or warm-up rounds, I guess, just absolutely trouncing Buddy and Dapper. It's like done wonders for his confidence. He's looking so clean. No misplays in sight. He's positioning brilliantly. He's making great decisions on the ball. And his flicks are just as good as they have ever been. 5-2. Miles sneaking in with a reverse challenge here after faking a challenge forwards. This is a pretty common strategy these days. Doesn't do so well against the early shot though. LionBlaze had perfect timing. It's common enough, this fake challenge into reverse challenge combination, which really only started to appear on the scene back at the end of 2018. It's a popular enough combo these days, you can actually just read it. Like, if your opponent makes a fake challenge and then hides behind the ball, good chance they might be just coming in for an actual challenge in reverse. You know, making an early flick is a great counter to that. Mile wanted to land on the boost there, couldn't do it. Oh, LionBlaze was not going to reach that one. That was a pretty fast wall shot by Mile. Like that flip by Mile as well. He's played quite a safe 50-50, recovering naturally. Oh, he's giving the ball away here though. LionBlaze is not giving Mile enough chances to justify ever giving the ball away at the end of this game. Final minute now. Mile needs to take just about every chance that he gets. LionBlaze is right there with him on every play, keeping an eye on what he's doing. Really preventing Mile from getting what he wants out of these plays. Yeah, it's 2 goals in it. 30 seconds left. Who do you guys think 72 PC will send out for Game 5 if G2 just pick 3v3 in the next round and win? Do you think that 72 PC send out LionBlaze for another 1v1 against Mile? He looks like he's doing pretty good in this matchup today. Or would they go for the 2v2? Which I think was a bit more risky. That's insane. LionBlaze is just inside Miles' head right now. What a read. And he's going to win this with another long shot. Definitely Lion in ones. Yeah, I think 1v1 might be the safest option right now because 2v2, that did rely on a few mistakes from G2 in order for 72 PC to get that win. You know, they absolutely thoroughly deserved the win there, but G2 were misplaying quite a lot. In this match, Mile hasn't really done that much wrong. He just got outplayed. Oh, well, I mean, he's done this wrong, but it doesn't really matter at this point. You know, LionBlaze is just looking so good right now. And this really puts into perspective the loss that that Sonic's just had in the last round. I mean, how do you beat this guy? They're probably going to want to go take some notes off AJ, who beat LionBlaze pretty recently, because today LionBlaze is just on form. And this is really cool to see, because I mean, LionBlaze is a player who's received a lot of criticism for not showing up when it matters most, not showing up in big games. But man, he's really playing well today. So calculated and so efficient with his movement. So sound mechanically. NRG swept. Did Stromboli just sweep NRG? Wow, that's crazy. I mean, I would give Stromboli the edge in ones, but I thought NRG would be able to beat them in 3s and 2s. Saying that though, Stromboli are dangerous in 3s and 2s. It's definitely a difficult matchup for NRG. I would give NRG the edge there. I think they should win if they're playing well in 3s and 2s. But Stromboli probably just take both the 1v1s every single time they play. So yeah, it's not going to be easy. I would probably only give NRG like a 60-40 at best in that matchup. At best, 60-40-ish. But Jacob stayed the whole game. Nah, he just rejoined in right now. He didn't stay in. He left. I saw him join after that game, Jazza. There's no one else in the lobby. Yeah, for anybody wondering why the players keep joining and leaving the lobbies like this, it's because we don't want there to be any temptation or any possibility for someone to spectate a player from the other team and report to their teammate who is playing the game on the boost amount that player has. It is unfortunately right now not possible for coaches and teammates to be in the lobby without there being like a possibility for that happening. Otherwise, I would love to have coaches and teammates be a part of this lobby and be able to watch live. Yeah, there's no way to limit the information that's available to spectators. If you could somehow limit the information that's available to spectators, basically like assign teams to, or assign players and coaches, etc. to teams before the game, and you're only able to see how much boost your team has when you're spectating, that would be great. But that's obviously not currently in the game, so we can't have anybody in the lobbies. That's why Jazza was asking there if Jacob was in the lobby. Yeah, it's all about integrity. We want to make it as you know. I don't expect that anyone in this tournament would do that. That rule doesn't exist because I expect any players to do that, to try and provide information like that. But we still have to make rules around it anyway, as I'm sure you guys understand. But it's okay. This is interesting, guys, because G2, just like in their first game of the series, not playing as aggressively as we're sometimes used to seeing them play, but there's a reason for that. They can't really play ultra aggressive because they need to win this game. They won the first 3v3 playing a more conservative style, and they're trying to replicate. Had the edge here, but no clear-cut chances just yet. 72 PC are proven to be a very difficult team to break down. Like I said before, you know, they've got LionBlaze playing out of his mind today. But the whole team have really been performing well. Jacob needed to step up and get the win in twos also. And they definitely look competitive in this 3v3 game. So, I mean, we always knew 72 PC would be a threat in this format, even though they just got relegated from RLRS. In fact, they've made a run in Spring Series and got such a diverse roster to work with. No surprise to anyone who's familiar with these guys to see them doing well here. Can G2 send it into Game 5 though? I'm sure that's what all the fans want. I'm sure that's what all the neutral spectators want. I'm definitely intrigued. Oh, that was a chance. Chicago off the bar. Rizzo and JNap's getting in each other's way a bit, but Rizzo is going to recover fast enough to get the next ball. Yeah, I'd be so curious to see another 1v1 between Mile and LionBlaze. I would just be curious to see what matchup 72 PC pick. That's what I want to know right now. It's like, what matchup do they choose? I feel like they're going to pick the 1v1. And I know that Mile can step up. I've seen him play better than this recently. He's not looking as confident as he usually does in his plays. But he's only had tough matches so far. Actually, I guess the first match wasn't as bad for him playing against the Ubez 1v1 player, but now having to go against Dries and LionBlaze back to back, this is like top tier NA1's competition. It's a really stacked bracket when it comes to ones in the upper quadrant. Jacob and Demo coming forward now, bumped by Jacob. That's an opportunity for LionBlaze, who gets demoed. What a recovery by JNaps. I mean, when you get bumps out of a play, it's rare that you can make something of it, but he managed to turn it into a demo on an opponent. And now that might be a goal for G2. It is. Wow, way to hold on under pressure. And just like in Game 1, they get a goal by simply being faster. They just get to the ball more quickly when the opportunity arises. They're first on the scene. Pitched by Rizzo. So they bounce into the half. Got 40 seconds left in the game before we get to see probably another Game 5 1v1. The highest stakes, the highest pressure situation that you can be in competitive Rocket League outside of major LAN finals, I would say. The entire weight of your team on your shoulders, literally having to carry your team to a win at that point. And all the pressure. I mean, we've got to wonder how much pressure Mile is under. He's got so many new eyes watching him that weren't watching him before with the G2 fan base. Hugely popular team. And now Mile has to step in and try to, live up to the standards of the best team in North America right now. that is all that they expect. Chicago's left the party here. Okay, Chicago's left the match. It's going to be the 1v1, I think. It is. It's going to be the 1v1, guys. Oh, this is so tense. My goodness. So it's been G2's 3v3 team that have got them in here. Chicago and Mile have been outplayed by LionBlaze and Jacob so far when it comes to 2v2 and 1v1. But Mile can rectify that right now. He can set the slate clean. He can get this completely fresh start and qualify G2 for Fusion NA. This is it. Whoever wins this 1v1 is in the tournament. Simple as that. LionBlaze won the first time around, but it was definitely a close game, and I expect this to be a close game as well. LionBlaze gets a better start. Decent save by Mile, but LionBlaze is in such a strong position here. Doesn't have too much boost to work with though, and Mile's done a good job to get distance on that clear. Oh, LionBlaze missed the mid boost. That allows LionBlaze missed the mid boost. That allows Mile to close the gap and take it. What a difference these small margins can make in 1v1. That is just crazy. If LionBlaze takes that boost, this attack is not even possible. But he missed it, and Mile immediately capitalized. And you know, you might be thinking, well, what's the big deal? There was a boost in the back corner. What's the difference between Mile taking that one and the mid one? Well, the difference is huge, because that way he can not only make a play on the ball, but he can make a play on the ball while LionBlaze is not facing the ball. So it's a play that's really difficult to counter. You know, that boost miss is going to be a big talking point of this series if Mile can win it. And what a read! Mile counters the slow play. And that is a change of pace that LionBlaze did not expect. Look at that. LionBlaze checks up from the ball to see where Mile is, expecting him to be back in goal. Mile's already shooting. It's a huge kickoff for LionBlaze, so that should be a goal. He takes his time with it. LionBlaze back within one, and we're seeing so many goals already. Oh dear, Mile just totally messed up his kickoff there. That was a huge fail on the approach. He just landed too far away from the ball, too low on the ball, too side on. It was basically everything that you could do wrong on a kickoff mechanically went wrong for Mile there. And now Mile isn't someone who's recently had a weak kickoff, not by any means. He's had a strong one, but in these high pressure situations, kickoffs can very often be one of the first things that deteriorates mechanically. Flicks are another one. Flicks and kickoffs in the past, I've seen them just fall off completely in these game 7s, in these game 5s, like this one. Luckily for Mile, his power shots are definitely still there. This time Mile doesn't rush the challenge. LionBlaze wanted him to. Mile has a strong 50-50 here. LionBlaze going to bounce off him and go straight after the ball. Wow, both players playing this so aggressively now. LionBlaze just wants to have a good chance to take control and set up opportunities to score. Look at the boost steal by LionBlaze. Really just wants to be the one dictating the flow of the game here. Doesn't want to have to play Mile's game. And it looks like he's going to get his way for now. That boost steal was so sneaky by LionBlaze. Just nipped in there and grabbed it. And that last touch was not something that Mile expected from him. Thought it was too far away. Just over a minute and 30 gone. Mile still in the lead. Look at the power he's able to generate from almost standstill. Oh, he's tried again for the direct shot, but it's off the bar. You know, it might be good that this hit the bar, because now LionBlaze has less boost than he did in the previous attack. And Mile still has 100, and he still has a way to pressure the ball. Now LionBlaze almost completely out. Wow, perfect timing on the boost respawn though. Mile missed his window of opportunity there. Confident aerial by both, but LionBlaze beats him to it, and that's in. LionBlaze equalizes. You know, I like the fact that Mile's mixing things up defensively this game. He's not backing off as much. He's trying to be more aggressive and catch LionBlaze off guard, but that time, he was the one who was caught off guard. He was the one caught out of position. Looks like Miles has lost the kickoff so bad that he's won it. It bounces into his back corner. My goodness. So you want to flick that ball any higher, you're going to break the ceiling. LionBlaze still in full control. Nice little touch there by Mile to take control in the back corner though. Would have been easy to smash that one off the wall. Wave dash by Mile. And a attempted bump by the looks of things, but LionBlaze gets away from it. Another boost steal for LionBlaze. Mile needs to be more careful not to let this happen. He's using a lot of boosts and retreats, assuming that the back corner one's going to be there when he gets there. Against LionBlaze, it's not often the case. That's a bit of risky play defensively by LionBlaze. So Miles coming at him. It's on the goal line and it's in. The pressure was just too much. LionBlaze couldn't get the ball clear. A mile ahead once again. He's been in control for the majority of this game. I think he's made some very good adjustments after losing earlier to LionBlaze. He noticed he's giving LionBlaze too much space. He's being a bit too predictable off the ball. Now that is really changing. He's attacking more often. Now he's got back corner boost control as well. LionBlaze tried to go for that steal again. Didn't get it. Miles still got that shaky camera. I'd love to watch his POV because his control is fantastic, but the shaky camera, I just can't do it. I feel like I'm not doing you guys a favor either if we watch this. LionBlaze getting a taste of his own medicine here, but look at that fast shot from the back corner. He's just way too quick to the ball. And from a defensive position, he's got a goal that Mile did not see coming at all. This was, you know, a position that usually favors the attacker. Mile had the boost steal, and he was running back away from the ball. The problem there is that he totally underestimated LionBlaze's recovery time, something you need to always be careful of. And LionBlaze over the top of Mile. Wants to dunk it in, or does he? He goes for the mind game, and that is absolutely disgusting. LionBlaze had space, had time, didn't need it. Mile just bounced right off the post on this one. And that is a pretty big oof for G2's chances here. 1 minute and 13 left. They're behind. And mind games have got to be the worst type of goal to concede at this point of a match. Big mental win there for LionBlaze, who was already building momentum in his favor. Mile might be looking for a bump here. He gets it. Oh my goodness, these guys are trading heavy blows right now. These are some painful goals to concede. But Mile brings out the air dribble bump. We haven't seen, I think, any of these from him today. But it's such a great shot to have in your back pocket when the opponent is least expecting it. Because the only way you can really counter an air dribble bump is by building up some speed of your own, and LionBlaze had none. Mile completely caught him cold and just completely stone-footed in the goal line there. Really no movement potential. And 40 seconds left. Mile trying to time a boost steal, gets it right on spawn, and immediately moves back to his goal to save the incoming shot. They're reading each other well right now, but it's just become a game of mechanics. Miles waiting for the misplay. He's trying to boost starve LionBlaze, but it's LionBlaze again who gets the goal from the back corner, and this is just also similar to the fourth goal that LionBlaze scored this game. Mile is trying to bait LionBlaze in. He knows that he's got a boost advantage in that position. Tries to make an awkward touch that LionBlaze can't reach. But LionBlaze is too fast. He reaches it and he scores with one touch. 15 seconds. G2 need a goal or they're going to be sent to the lower bracket. But just as I'm talking about it, LionBlaze doubles up, and Mile once again has miscalculated the height of his own crossbar. He thought that ball was going to hit the bar, bounce down. It's just gone straight in. And unless he can score on this exact attack, that is the end of G2's upper bracket run. But Mile will score with this attack. It's another air dribble bump. This one he didn't even have to air dribble. He just popped the ball once and flew into LionBlaze. And you know, credit to him. If you see the defender on the wall, it is really difficult for them to avoid the incoming air dribble bump. So that's a smart strategy again by Mile. But he needs one more, and that is not a good position for him. He needs the boost steal. LionBlaze will not let him keep it up though. He wins the 1v1 2 times. They take down G2 in the 2v2. And that is the end of G2's upper bracket run. They're done for today. We'll see them again tomorrow in the lower bracket final against, well, I'm not sure yet who they're going to be playing because we haven't seen that lower bracket play out. But wow, that is insane. LionBlaze having a great day at the office right now. Just look at some of these results. If you just tuned in, LionBlaze 17-5 over Buddy. He beats Dapper 10-4, 15-4, and now he beats Mile twice in one series. That is a ridiculously good day. A ridiculously good day at work for LionBlaze. I mean, it's quite clear looking at LionBlaze versus Mile that this is a very, very close matchup. LionBlaze, he's popping off today. Mile not quite able to find his A game. I have seen better from him recently, but you can't take away from what LionBlaze just did. He's taken down, he's helped his team, I should say, take down Sonics and G2. But you know, they won every matchup. They won 2s, 1s, and 3s against the Warriors. They were able to beat the Sonics in the 2v2 round as well. So just exactly the same series format as the G2 series. We see G2 here only taking the 3v3 games, same as Sonics. They only took the 3v3 games against 72 PC, who, you know, are a pretty decent 3s team as well, but it looks like their 2s and their 1s are totally figured out. Like, they're going to be very scary in the final tournament in all 3 game modes. But wow, LionBlaze, looking forward to seeing more from him.